Have you ever said yes to a road trip, packed your bag with excitement, but deep down, you feared the ride more than the destination? Not because of traffic, not because of maps, but because your back locks up after the first hour, your knees go numb, and even when you smile for your family, your body quietly pleads, "Please pull over." If that sounds familiar, I want to tell you something simple and kind. You're not falling apart. You're not weak, and you are not alone. And after 70, your body speaks in a different language. Slower, softer, more sacred. But many of us have never been taught how to listen. And here's the twist no one talks about. It's not the road that's wearing you down. It's the pressure to pretend you're still 50, still strong, still unstoppable. But strength, after 70, looks different. Sometimes it means knowing when to rest before you break. Today, I'll show you exactly how to recognize 7 hidden signs your body may be too tired for long road trips and what you can do about it, naturally, gently, and with dignity. These aren't just travel tips. They're quiet truths that help you age with awareness and protect your strength before it's drained away by silence. Researchers show nearly 1 in 3 adults over 70 experience poor circulation or joint fatigue within 2 hours of sitting still, especially in cars or airplanes, which create extreme discomfort for long-distance travel. But no worries, I am going to show you these signs and a way around it. By the end of this video, you'll have the clarity to travel smarter, rest deeper, and feel proud of the choices you make for your health. If you've ever felt uneasy on the road after 70, I invite you to like this video and stay with me till the end. You might just see your body in a whole new light. Sign number 1, you get lower back stiffness within the first hour. And how to fix this? If you sit in a car and feel your lower back tighten before you even pass the first highway exit, that's not a random ache. It's a quiet signal. As we age, the small cushions between the bones of our spine, called discs, begin to dry out, like a sponge that's lost its moisture. Without that cushion, long sitting causes the vertebrae to press and strain the muscles around them. According to the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons, up to 50% of adults over 70 experience some form of spinal degeneration that worsens with prolonged sitting, especially in low cars with unsupportive seats. This matters more after 70 because the back no longer rebounds the way it used to. You might not feel it right away, but stiffness builds like a slow fog until the pain spreads to your hips, down your legs, or even up to your shoulders. You may catch yourself shifting in the seat, readjusting every few minutes, hoping for relief that never fully comes. That's what happened to Harold, 81, who drove 4 hours to visit his grandchildren, but had to stop 5 times just to stretch on the side of the road. "My spirit was ready," he said, "but my back gave up long before I did." And I believe him, because that's the truth about aging. The will remains strong, but the body needs more care. In my opinion, we should never wait until stiffness turns into injury. Gentle lumbar stretches before leaving, a rolled-up towel for support, and rest breaks every 45 minutes. These are not signs of frailty. They are signs of self-respect. Not all strength is silent. Sometimes it speaks through the choices we make before the pain begins. Have you felt this kind of stiffness on your last road trip? Let me know in the comments. And if this feels familiar, give this video a like to help others see it too. Sign number 2, your legs feel numb or tingling. While seated, if your legs start to feel numb, tingly, or strangely heavy during a car ride, that's not just poor posture, it's your circulation crying out. As we age, our blood vessels stiffen, and the nerves in our lower limbs can become more sensitive to pressure. Sitting for long periods compresses the blood flow to your legs, especially behind the knees and in the thighs. According to Johns Hopkins Medicine, over 35% of adults over 70 experience some form of nerve or vascular insufficiency that gets worse when seated too long. That's why road trips can bring on that pins and needles sensation or a dull ache in the feet. Here's the part most people misunderstand. We think tingling means we need to stretch, but it's not flexibility that's missing, it's flow. Your blood, your oxygen, your nerve signals, they're all getting squeezed like water in a bent hose. And the older we get, the more gentle movement we need, not less. That's what happened to Margaret, age 76, on a trip across state lines to visit her sister. After just 2 hours, her left leg went numb. She tried moving around in the seat, drinking water, even massaging her calf, but nothing helped. When they finally stopped at a rest area, she said, "It felt like my foot didn't belong to me anymore." Her daughter later bought her compression socks, and now they stop every 45 minutes. Not because of fear, but because they've learned to listen. In my opinion, these early signals are not warnings of decline. They are invitations to care. If your legs tingle, swell, or go numb during long drives, it's not your fault. It's your body asking for rhythm, not rigidity. Sometimes healing starts with circulation, not just of blood, but of attention. Have you ever had tingling legs on the road? Let me know below. And if you're learning something new, give this video a like to help others find it too. Sign number 3, you can't hold urine for more than an hour. If you find yourself needing to pee every 60 minutes, or feeling anxious the moment you leave home because you're unsure when the next restroom will appear, you're not alone. As we grow older, the bladder becomes more sensitive, the pelvic muscles weaken, and in men, the prostate often enlarges and presses against the urethra, like a tree root growing too close to a garden pipe. According to the National Institute on Aging, over 40% of men and women over 70 experience some form of urinary urgency or incontinence, especially during travel. The gentle rocking of the car, the pressure of sitting, and the fear of not reaching a restroom in time can make the bladder even more reactive, like a child who panics at the first sign of delay. But here's the twist. Most people think this is just a nuisance. In truth, it's not about the bladder. It's about your nervous system. Holding urine becomes harder, not only because of aging muscles, but because travel creates subtle stress. And stress tightens the bladder's signals, often before it's truly full. So what seems like a bathroom problem is often a stress response in disguise. That's exactly what happened to Mr. Leonard, a retired bus driver from Ohio. At 78, he still loved to hit the road, until one trip he had to stop 6 times in just 3 hours. He laughed it off at first, but inside, he felt embarrassed, like something private had been taken from him. His daughter later bought a seat protector and created a driving plan with scheduled stops. No shame, no pressure, just respect for his body's new rhythm. After that, he said, "I stopped worrying about the ride and started enjoying the view again." In my opinion, needing frequent stops is not a weakness, it's a wisdom. Your body asking for kindness, not control. True strength isn't about how long you can hold it. It's about how gently you can let go. Have you ever planned your trip around restrooms? Let me know. And if this message feels true to you, give the video a like so others can find comfort in it too. Sign number 4. You feel mentally foggy after 2 hours on the road. If you find yourself zoning out after a couple of hours on the highway, missing exits, struggling to focus, or feeling like your brain has gone dull, that's not just boredom. It's a drop in mental clarity caused by long periods of stillness. When we sit too long, especially in a car, blood flow to the brain slightly decreases. Combine that with dehydration, low oxygen from shallow breathing, and the constant background noise of the road, and it becomes harder for the brain to stay sharp. According to Harvard Medical School, even mild dehydration or reduced circulation can lower cognitive performance by up to 13% in adults over 70. That's enough to make a clear mind feel clouded, especially on long drives. Here's the twist. Most people think brain fog means something is wrong in the head. memory loss, dementia, or worse. But the truth is, many times it's just your body's way of saying, I need motion, I need oxygen, I need space. The mind slows down when the body sits still too long, not because you're aging poorly, but because you're pausing too long without renewal. Harold, the same man from earlier, once tried to surprise his grandkids with a visit, but after just 2 hours on the road, he missed a major turn and ended up driving 40 miles off course. I didn't feel sleepy, he told me, but it was like my brain just drifted. After that, he started bringing peppermint water in a thermos, stretching at every gas stop, and keeping the window cracked for fresh air. It didn't make him younger, but it made him clear again. In my opinion, brain fog isn't a failure, it's a flicker. Your body's gentle way of saying it needs to come back into rhythm. Sometimes the sharpest mind is the one that knows when to pause and breathe. Have you ever felt mentally tired on a long drive? Share your story below. And if this message helped, tap like to support someone else who may need to hear it. Sign number 5. Your ankles swell every time you travel. If your shoes feel tighter after a road trip, or you glance down at your ankles and barely recognize them, that swelling is not just water weight. It's a signal of slowing circulation. As we age, the valves in our veins, the tiny flaps that push blood upward against gravity, begin to weaken. When we sit for long periods, especially in cars or planes, gravity wins. Blood pools downward. Lymph fluid builds up. And the ankles, being the farthest from the heart, are the first to show it. According to the Cleveland Clinic, nearly 70% of seniors experience some form of lower limb swelling during prolonged sitting, especially in hot or cramped environments. You might notice it only after taking your socks off, an imprint left behind like a soft bruise from within. But swelling isn't always about salt or heat. What many people don't realize is that our body swells when it feels trapped. Stillness creates pressure, and pressure without motion becomes stagnation. Swelling, in that sense, is not just physical. It's your body's way of quietly asking, can I move now? Can I breathe again? That's exactly what happened to Lorraine, 79, on her anniversary trip. After a 6-hour drive, her ankles were so swollen she couldn't wear the shoes she brought for dinner. Her husband, seeing her in tears, offered to drive her to a pharmacy. But instead, she sat on the hotel balcony, lifted her feet, and whispered, "Maybe my body just needed a chance to rise." The next morning, they walked slowly to breakfast together. To me, swelling isn't a sign of failure. It's a quiet overflow of fluid, of pressure, of life asking for movement. Sometimes, healing begins when we give our body permission to stop holding everything down. Have you noticed swelling during long drives? Share below. And if this message helped you feel seen, give the video a like to pass it forward. Sign number 6. You wake up tired after a long drive. Not rested. Most people think that once they've reached their destination, the hard part is over. But if you arrive after a long road trip and wake up the next morning feeling more exhausted than before you left, something deeper is happening. Prolonged travel, especially in older adults, creates a state of low-grade physiological stress, even if you're just sitting. Muscles tense subtly. The brain stays alert for safety. Cortisol, the body's stress hormone, rises quietly, and because you're not moving enough to release it, it lingers. According to research published by the Journal of Geriatric Psychiatry, seniors show a 20 to 30% higher baseline stress response to prolonged travel environments, especially if rest breaks are skipped or hydration is low. So instead of feeling relaxed, you wake up groggy, achy, or strangely irritable. It's not the road that's tiring. It's the way we force our body to endure it without pause. We think that getting there faster is the goal. But often, speed steals the very joy we hoped to arrive with. The fatigue that follows isn't laziness. It's the cost of pushing too long without softening the journey. That's what happened to Grandpa Dennis, who drove 6 hours to his niece's wedding. he made it. But the next morning, he missed the ceremony, fast asleep in the hotel room, with a dull headache and a heavy chest. He told me later, "I thought I had powered through, but really, I had powered past myself." Now, he breaks his trips in half, sleeps better, and enjoys more than just the arrival. In my view, the road doesn't always take your strength, but it can drain your reserves if you're not careful. Real rest isn't what happens after the drive. It's what you preserve during the journey. Have you ever arrived somewhere and felt too tired to enjoy it? Let me know. And if you felt this way too, tap like so others know they're not alone. Sign number 7. You secretly dread the next trip. And what that feeling is trying to teach you. There's a silence many older adults carry, the quiet dread before the next family trip, reunion, or holiday drive. You smile and say yes. You pack the bag. You nod at the calendar. But inside, your body tightens. Not from laziness, not from fear, but from a deep knowing that something doesn't feel right anymore. This dread isn't weakness. It's not depression. It's your nervous system, your intuition, your soul, whispering that it needs more preparation, more pacing, more permission to say, "Not this time." According to the University of Michigan's Institute for Social Research, emotional fatigue in seniors, especially those over 75, is often underreported but strongly linked to physical travel stress and chronic exhaustion. And the strange part? Most people never speak this out loud, because we've been told that aging means pushing through, not pulling back. That strength is saying yes, when sometimes real courage is knowing when to pause. This happened to Eleanor, 84, who used to take the train every spring to visit her niece. But one year, she kept delaying. She packed and unpacked. She canceled, then rebooked. When asked why, she simply said, "I don't think I can carry the weight of pretending this is still easy." Instead, her niece came to her, and they shared tea, memories, and laughter on Eleanor's porch. No suitcase, no struggle, just presence. In my view, when your heart dreads the journey, listen. That feeling isn't weakness, it's guidance. Sometimes the most loving direction comes not from your feet, but from your inner voice saying it's okay to stay. Have you ever said yes when your body quietly said no? Share with me in the comments. And if this message gave you peace, give the video a like so others can feel it too. Thank you for being here with me. If you've made it this far, you probably know now. Road trips after 70 aren't just about the miles. They're about how your body feels in silence, how your mind weathers stillness, and how your spirit responds to pressure no one else sees. Maybe you used to drive 500 miles in one day without thinking twice. Maybe you still want to. But now, you move differently. And that's not failure. That's wisdom in motion. You are not fragile. You are aware. You are not declining. You are adapting. And every time you listen to your body's quiet signals, you're not giving up. You're choosing the kind of strength that endures. So let me ask you, which one of these signs felt true for you? Have you ever pushed yourself on a trip and quietly wished someone had told you it was okay to slow down? Leave a comment below and share your story. Or simply write, Number 1. That way. I know you're walking this path of awareness with me. And if this video spoke to you in any way, please like it, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more healing truths and positive energy. Because aging should never mean silence, shame, or surrender. See you in the next video.